homes. I'm telling you guys, the storm is brewing and it's coming fast. The rate of acceleration on property taxes and insurance is unlike anything anybody has ever seen. People's monthly payments are going up from $1,800 to $2,800, from $2,500 to $3,500. One of two things can happen. You either lose your home to foreclosure because you can't afford that payment, or you try to sell your home so that you can get out of this terrible situation. And the more people that start to now try to sell their homes, the more inventory increases, the more those prices are likely to come down. This does vary state to state, so it's not exactly the same in every state. Some states are in worse situations than others. They weren't kidding. Those f***ers weren't kidding. They said you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Hi, this is part 2 of how my monthly mortgage payment went from $3,832 to about $7,200 in change. So the first thing I did is I went on to my mortgage, the website, to see about the escrow, to make sure that I was giving the correct facts, because again, the point is to bring awareness so this doesn't happen to somebody else. So whenever I looked it up, what I saw was that, again, there was a shortage, there was an escrow shortage, and this shortage came from last year as well as this year. So the county tax was projected to be $539, but it ended up being $4,627. And again, that's because when we purchased the home, it was a new build, so they calculated it as it just being land. They didn't calculate it as it being a home being built on land. Again, 100% our fault. I'm not putting blame on anybody. Do I feel that the realtor that I had at the time should have made me aware of this? Yes, I do. Do I feel like the mortgage company should have made me aware of this? Yes, I do. Do I think that they just wanted to sell and they didn't care about it going up and they knew that it was going to go up? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, it is my fault. It is my husband's fault. We shouldn't rely on other people to do our homework for us. We should have looked into this. But so that was the one thing, that tax went up. The hazard insurance, it went up $1,131. The mud tax went up $5,908. The school tax went up $5,671. So the total shortage that we had was $23,311. Luckily, I was able to, thanks to the realtor that I have now, she advised me to call the mortgage company and see if they could do something to stretch that shortage out so that we didn't have to pay it up front, to make that payment, that monthly mortgage payment of the $7,200 go down. So that's what I did. I called the mortgage company and luckily they were able to stretch it out. So now we're paying $5,663 a month, which is still more than we're able to pay, which is why we're still selling it. But luckily, they were able to do that for us.
Okay, so quick story time of how my mortgage increased by 120%. The beginning of this month, I wake up and I have a notification from my bank saying that my account went under $100. This is interesting because the night before I knew the mortgage was coming out, so I transferred a good hefty amount over what the mortgage was going to be, and I'm like, drop below $100, that's crazy. So I get online and I see that my bank has taken a double payment with like a little bit more. So my mortgage is usually $100, baby, I wish, $1,100. And when I went to go check, they had taken out $2,400. So my first thought is, this is interesting. Like maybe what they did was a double payment. Like maybe something didn't come out last month. And so like maybe that's what it was. Like maybe this is double payment and like a late fee, but that wouldn't make sense to me because it's on auto pay. So if something happened and the funds were there, that wasn't on me. So anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever, let me just check. So I scroll back up to see if the payment was taken out for March. Sure enough, it was taken out for March, a payment of $1,100. So I'm like, why did I get a payment of $2,400 taken out? So I call my mortgage company and I'm like, hey, what's good? I just want to make sure, like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, why did y'all take out a payment of $2,400? And the lady's like, oh, that's your new payment. What do you mean that's my new payment? She's like, well, that's your new payment because you don't have enough in escrow and your taxes went up by $6,000. My taxes went up by $6,000. Now here's the part that gets crazy. So I'm like, okay, let me check all this out. So three things happened that caused my mortgage to increase. One, she told me that we don't have any money in my escrow. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We don't have any money in our escrow. Two, my homeowner's insurance went up from $2,000 to $4,000. Called them, they were like, well, we don't know what's going on, like the mortgage rates are just the highest they've ever been in Texas right now. We ain't got nothing for you, basically. That's it. Like, what you gonna do? Started shopping around, all of that. The third thing, we'll talk about that again. The third thing was that my property taxes went up. So I go onto the county website to see like what the heck is going on, because this doesn't make sense to me. So when I calculate everything, my insurance had only gone up $711. I remember the number because 711. So I called back. I'm like, ma'am, now this is where everything pisses me off, and there's literally nothing we can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it. We can call to try to get like cheaper homeowners insurance, but for the most part, it doesn't even matter. Now, so whenever I call this lady back, I'm like, or the company back, I'm like, I don't understand what happened, because every June or July, somewhere around there, they do an escrow analysis and they see, do you have enough money in escrow? For those of you that are new to homeownership, don't own a home, don't know what it is, whatever. Escrow is an amount that you pay every single month. So at the end of the year, they pay things like your homeowner's insurance and your taxes, right? So that way it doesn't come out of pocket at any time for you. You've already been paying all year, so they just write your taxes a check and they write your homeowners a check. Okay, you pay that within your mortgage. Now, and every July they do like an escrow analysis where they say, do you have more than enough? Do you have too little? Do you have to make something up? What's going on? Do you have a deficit or do you have excess? So they hit us up last month and they were like, yeah, you're good. Like you actually got too much. So we're going to send you a check. They sent us a check. They wrote us off a check for $2,900. Okay, cool, bet. Now, for those of you who are like, oh, you shouldn't have spent the $2,900. That way your escrow, baby, we can pay the $2,900 right now. What we cannot pay is an additional $1,300 a month. $1,300 a month is crazy. And there's nothing we can do about it. Like, we can't go back and say, yo, y'all told us we were good. They don't give a damn. They do not care, baby. They don't care. So they literally told us, there's nothing, you just gonna have to pay this unless you have like all the thousands of dollars saved up right now to give to us in a large check. I think it was like 9,000-10,000, something like that. Then baby, you're just gonna have to pay this extra $1,300 every single month, and then we'll do another analysis